What do you think the benefits of going to grad school for your PR careers are?
Well, I think, because I don't know if y'all have a class with Sean Dooley. He's the one who I have the website with and stuff. So he, seeing me graduate and finish with grad school, he asked me straight up, do you think I should go into grad school now or later? And I said, you're burnt out from school, wait a year and get a job or an internship and then go back. I went straight through, and you did too.
All three of these guys.
Yeah, I did
yeah,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I know that I would have gotten my hands into something else and gone with it and not gone back to school. And I knew that that was a priority, that I really wanted grad school, whether it benefited me or not at the time. And it definitely gave me some time to figure out a lot. I mean, 2 years is very short time, but it also helped me figure out what I really enjoyed and what I was really good at, and just, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
I think the main benefit I got is that I did start learning about new media, and I took several SMEs courses during my time in the graduate program. But it also helped me to think more critically. I felt like there was a lot of hand-holding a little bit in undergrad, and in grad school it's just, you do this stuff, and it's not an assignment or a worksheet, it's an entire research paper that you have to create from start to finish. And also I worked my entire time during grad school, so I learned a lot about balancing different projects.
Yeah.
And like Myra said, not sleeping a lot, which kind of works the same in everyday life and my job too. Whether it's going straight through or waiting a few years, I think it's just a personal preference. I have to agree with Mary, and if I would have waited a few years and actually gotten another job and then gone back to grad school, I felt like my experience would have been different. I probably would have been regretting quitting my job and actually making money. But I think just it causes you to think differently about things and approach problems differently.
Myra, do you want to say anything about grad school?
Yeah, for me, I felt like I hadn't gotten all the skills that I wanted to get in undergrad just because the program was so new and I really was interested in learning more. So.
We were just starting to kind of pick up that
exactly,
stuff.
yeah.
So you felt like you were in that gap, maybe.
Exactly, yeah, and it really helped get me, I think, where I needed to be in terms of being competitive in the work marketplace for journalism. And it was kind of a rough period in journalism too, and having those web skills, social media skills are so important, and were getting increasingly important at that time. But also, being a TA was a great experience. I loved that. I learned a lot from it, and I love teaching the students, and I still keep in touch with a lot of those students who are now reporters at various places. And that's the other thing too. I think had I just gone straight to find a job versus going to grad school, I'd probably would have been a reporter, and I don't think I would have been happy doing that for very long. I really like what I do now. I'm very passionate about it, and it just turned out to be the right fork in the road for me.
I used to give the advice to students about getting experience before going to grad school, but a student changed my mind about that. You guys, I think all of you know Anna Towson. Mm-hmm. She was one of our undergrads, and she didn't take my advice, and she went to American University in DC, and she ended up having wonderful experiences while she was there that she would not have gotten had she taken some little job in Austin out of undergrad. And so I always do encourage people with what exactly you said is, don't just think grad school is going to be 2 more years of vegging out in class and partying, but you have to take on internships, do student media, meet people, develop that portfolio, and really focus on your network. And if you didn't do that in undergrad, then grad school's maybe a good place to kind of pick that up. So it really, for some people, I think going straight through actually kind of works.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 things I just thought about. When I was, or after I got my job, and I was talking to my boss, and she was just telling me some of the stuff that she liked and didn't like, or whatever, about people that applied, because there were a lot of Texas State students who applied, which she was very impressed with. And she said, well, I just didn't know that your program, didn't know about the different programs. And she said, yes, seeing that you went to grad school definitely was a big hit.
Right.
and two, the portfolio. And all I did was go through and print out examples of blog posts, of websites, of graphic design, like everything that I could do, and I just put it in, you know, cheapy little folder and made it look nice, but it wasn't anything expensive, and I think I did it 2 days before, but I just had as much as I could. I even put like grad research papers in there to prove that I could write, and she said that that was another big thing that not many people did in the application process, and they didn't say requiring a portfolio, you just bring it one way or another.
Yeah.
There was also an article that I read recently, I don't know where it was, Mashable possibly, but there's this company who was requiring, they didn't require a resume, they said list 5 websites that represent you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit.
And you know, you've got to have a blog, you need to have Twitter, Facebook, even a Tumblr, whatever you have, but you need to be visible and active online.
That's a good thing you have to do that for this class then.
Yeah.
The listings are
So it
required.
is,
yeah.
They're like, yeah, but you'll see.
Yeah.
It might be valuable.